Great. Cool. Tita Magova from Zimbabwe. Glad to be here. It's good to have you here. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Type where you are joining from, and great. If this is day 1 for you, type 1. If it's day 2 for you, type 2. If this is your 5th day, type 5 in the chat. Great. Excellent. Tita, it's day 2, somehow day 5. Great. Awesome. All right, so we'll start this one with questions. Those of you who've gone through some of the content, type your questions in the chat. Then I'll answer your questions and then we'll go into the roadmap. Cool. Okay. Cool. Okay. Give me 1 second to see the questions that are popping up now. All right. So our questions around, first question saying, want to understand how we put all this together. It feels a little bit, it's a lot of information. How do I do it? Good question. We'll talk about that in this session now. Okay. How do you put it all together? And another question is around the vision. Say, how do I make sure that I set a goal that is in line with what I'm reading that as, how do I set a goal that is in line with what I really want? Okay, I guess that question there is like, how do you make sure that your goals that you set are aligned with what you can really achieve or what you can really, what you really believe? Great. So how you do that is you make sure that when you're setting your goals, right, you can set a goal which is very ambitious. There's also a goal which helps you just sustain. And then there's the goal which sits in the middle. And to know that if you hit any of the 3, that's fine, but you're aiming for your moonshot, like your biggest one. And then if you're starting from 0, sometimes it's difficult to just make a big jump. So 0 to 10, okay? If you set it to say from 0, I'll get to 2 or 1 to 2. But if you're already moving at 5 or 10, you can move it further up and move faster. Okay. Great. Okay. So what we've covered so far is we've talked about the different aspects that will help you scale your business while freeing up your time. How do you scale your business without losing sleep, without getting busier and busier? The concern that a lot of people have about scaling their businesses is that I'm already very busy, but if I scale it, I'm going to get even busier. What do I do now? Right? So we talked about how you actually, what you need to do to grow your business, to scale it to the level that you want, whether it's 2x, 5x, or 10x, and then how you execute as well, and how you create your value stack and creating accountability. Great. Now let's look at the roadmap to success. Okay. Roadmap to success. So when we're talking about the roadmap to success, we're thinking about, first of all, that where you're starting from, you're starting with a vision. Okay, you're starting with a vision, and you set what you're going to achieve in a time frame. In this case, it's say 12 months. That's the first part. Then the second part is to chunk that down into quarters. So breaking down your goals into quarters. For instance, if you're saying you want to hit 20, okay, whether it's 20,000 in 12 months. So if you have your goal as 20, then you know that, okay, by mid-year, you should have 10, meaning by end of Q1, you should have 5. So what you do then is you write out your 5 in Q1, 10 in Q2, 15 in Q3, and 20 in Q4. That helps you to know if you're going to be on target. And then you break down that quarter into months, and then you execute on that on a continuous basis. Okay. Then with accountability. Then the next piece of that, when you are looking at how to really achieve, okay, because we talked about all the different pieces, but what is the most important piece of all of this is the execution. Okay, execution beats ideas. Execution beats setting goals. If you set goals and you do nothing, those goals are meaningless. Okay, so you set your goals, then we execute. So what is critical to execution? Knowing who's going to be on your team. Okay, like Lelemba talked about and Sarah talked about, knowing who's going to be on your team, and then having the key metrics for that. So when you have your execution plan, you have your key metrics, and knowing which ones are your key metrics. Number one key metric is revenue. Then number 2 would be the number of customers that you are having. And then now you can break that into whether it's repeating customers and then also new customers that you're getting on a month-to-month basis. Whether it's investors or other people that want to look at your business, they want to see month-on-month growth. So that's then the third part of the roadmap. Then the fourth part of the roadmap is what could go wrong. Okay, what could go wrong? I know a lot of times when people are thinking about building something and scaling and all of that, they're thinking, this is what I want, this is what I want to achieve. And if somebody says, what if something goes wrong? What could go wrong here? And then they say, no, just be positive. We don't want any negativity here. Okay, but that is actually a mistake, because you need to think about what could go wrong, because that is what trips us over as entrepreneurs, that you have a big plan, you're planning to do this, but something goes wrong and you don't know what to do. Okay, we've seen that what could go wrong, and we plan, but as much as possible, we need to think about all the different pieces that could go wrong. And for instance, when we were planning this masterclass for 5 days, we planned for contingencies, right? I planned that, me and my team, we planned that the time I was in Germany when we started this, I was flying out the same morning and I had the session. And between finishing the session and my plane taking off, there was just 1 hour. Okay, so I went into Düsseldorf, into Berlin, Brandenburg airports, and sat in a lounge and did the session. But then we had to think about what could go wrong. What if my train is late to the airport? What if the plane, like I'm required to board earlier? What if I just can't log in? I can't be present. What happens then, right? And so we had contingencies like, okay, I mean, Christy would help out, Lelemba would help out, and I had a lot of people on standby in case something goes wrong. And that day we did everything, and it was fine. Again, like what happens when I land in Rwanda? Next day, if we can't get or if I can't join in because I landed at 2 in the morning and took an hour to get to my hotel and then up again in the morning and to do this. We had contingencies. But we didn't have a contingency of what if there's no Wi-Fi? Like there's a fiber cut in that area. And that happened on day 3. Right? Fiber cut. We didn't think of that, but we thought about me physically not being present, right? And those type of things can happen. And now we start to make a plan, like how to recover. And using somebody's hotspot, talking to Christy, to Lelemba, and then we still make something work. And that is life, and that's entrepreneurship. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't plan for things going wrong because you want to just be positive. You must plan, and not also knowing that if you plan doesn't mean that everything is just going to work. Okay, things don't always work according to plan, but you're better off with a plan than without. You're better off with a plan than without. Okay. Imagine that Elon Musk says, we're going to build these rockets and we're going to send them to space and they're going to come back. And then somebody says, what if an engine fails? And then he says, no, we don't want to think about negative things here, right? What if we fail to get back? No, don't be negative. Everything will be okay. Just believe, right? So I'd like you to think about what you believe could hold you back from achieving your goals. Type in the chat box. What are the possible things that could hold you back from achieving your goals? Type that. I'd like to see that in the chat. While you're thinking about your goals and your dreams, what will prevent you from achieving that? What would be the possible things that could go wrong? What could be the possible things? Yes, level 5 lockdown, right? Level 5 lockdown, that's for Daisy. If that happens, you could throw the plan off, right? Michael, Pinky, Barney, what could prevent you from achieving your goals? Chanel, what could prevent you from achieving your goals? Chewe, Tilda says imposter syndrome. Chewe, my own anxiety, failure to raise enough revenue. Great. Joseph, Kate, Kobina, Maud, Paul, Ronwin, Samuel, Tilda, Tumelo. What could get in the way? Support from my suppliers. Support is a good thing, Samuel. What could get in the way? What would prevent you from achieving your goals? I don't think support would get in the way, would prevent you. Do you mean lack of support from your suppliers, maybe? What else? Just type in the chat. Let's see. Team dynamics. Michael Wright, finance, skills acquisition, lockdowns, managing 2 businesses simultaneously, lack of market access. Oh, what else? Procrastination, Ronwin. Okay. Funding, Kate. Saturation of business. Okay. Bigger, shinier competition. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. I see that. Great. So a number of things can get in the way. but we could break these things into 3. Okay. Number 1 would be our own internal beliefs. So false beliefs. And I know a lot of you have tried to grow your businesses before. And this is not the first program probably you've been on to grow your business. You've read stuff, you've been to school, you've tried things, and then it didn't work and it didn't work out according to plan. And then there's the belief, there's the belief that maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'll never figure this thing out, or maybe this thing won't work for me. But actually, it's not your fault, because there's a lot of information out there and it's confusing. So the traditional schools that give you a lot of information, and the people just tell you, oh, just do one thing, are actually wrong. They're wrong because they're teaching you things that, if you're looking at traditional schools, a lot of the people who are teaching that have never done it before. Okay? So they just read a book and saying, oh, these are the theories and these are the frameworks, and this is what I'm teaching you. Do a business plan and do these projections. But we see that everybody makes money in Excel. If you do your projections, you're rich. I've never seen anybody who's done projections in Excel and says, we're not making money. Because in Excel, you can change the 2, make it a 3, like, yay, we're profitable. We make the 3, it becomes a 4. Oh my gosh, we're rich. And then in reality, it's different. So that's firstly, that's internal belief that this might not work for me, okay? But I'd like to tell you that what really works, and why we're telling you about the blueprint, is that it's got many parts. If somebody tells you, just do this one thing, like people say, hey, tell me, what's the one thing I should do to be successful? I'm like, isn't just one thing. It's like somebody says, just tell me the one thing I should do to lose weight. Like, it's not one thing. What's the one thing that make me, it's not one thing. So we're always looking for one thing that would solve everything. And there isn't that. And so we get disappointed and feeling, in the end, it feels like, I can't do this. So it's not one thing. And then you get also a lot of confusing pieces. And so we put all that together and created the blueprint. The blueprint has got different parts, and you assemble them and you start working through them, okay, to help you achieve that. So it takes care of, if you're having, if you like, there's saturation of business, that market, there's a lot of competition. We talked about that when how you create your offer, your value offer. When you stack that, you create a category of your own. So, for instance, if you are offering, if you're running a gym, right, and they're telling people that we'll help you lose weight, and then all the other gyms are saying the same thing, right? We help you lose weight, get fitter. But if now you add a value stack, because somebody says, oh, I want to be consistent with the gym, you add in how to help people to be consistent. Thinking, I want to eat the right things, you add in an eating guide, and then the feeling that what I'll be eating won't be tasty. Because a lot of times I believe that, personally, when people are saying healthy option, you're almost like tasteless option. You know what I mean? Like, how to convince you to eat bad tasting food is to say it's healthy. Like, why can't healthy food be tasty as well, right? And so you give people tasty, healthy options, and people are doing that. So solving those problems for customers then help you to stand out in your market. And again, we've got in the blueprint, we help you with procrastination. So procrastination is solved by 2 parts of the blueprint. One is the vision and the certainty score. When you're not certain, you will procrastinate. And then also, when you don't have an execution plan, you will procrastinate. Then actually the third part of the blueprint that also tackles procrastination, would be the accountability bit, which we've built into that. And same for team dynamics. We've got part of the blueprint for handling team, you see. And then a failure to raise needed funding. You raise funding when you execute and you grow So the whole blueprint will actually help you raise funding, because you raise funding from your customers. But if you're raising funding from your customers, you also are attractive to investors. Okay? And then how do you work with, get support from your suppliers, right? Getting support from your suppliers would be, you look at what's the value that you offer them and what's the relationship you have with them, and all those type of things you take care of in the blueprint when you're talking about your product. Like, who are the other people who are coming in to help you, support you with your product. And Chewe talks about anxiety and failure to raise enough. Anxiety, again, let's talking about the certainty score and that believing, like, is this going to work? And a lot of us have got that anxiety, say, I'm not sure if this is going to work, or I'm not sure if I can pull it off, because last time I tried it, didn't really work out. I set up New Year's resolutions and didn't work. Okay. And all of that, Tilda, imposter syndrome, same thing. I struggled with that. Okay. Imposter syndrome. And once in a while it kicks in. Am I really supposed to be here? Am I the one to do this? Do I have enough qualifications? Do I have enough money to do this? Okay. Or am I the right person to offer this? Okay. So we take care of all of that in the blueprint. And that is why we really believe that if you get the blueprint, you apply it, and then you get support, accountability on how to apply it, it takes care of, now you know that you won't just drop off, okay? Because there's somebody guiding you. For instance, yesterday I had the live session with the CEO of Rwanda Build. So for him, he's coming from a background of, he's been working, trying to raise money for the longest time. And he knows things to be this way. And then he's trying to raise, but something is not working. And for the longest time, he said, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. And yesterday he admitted, like, every time you say, let's start, I'm always saying, let's start next week. Let's start next week. Because there was a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear, and also not sure, like, is this going to work? But what if I get disappointed again, right? And then I said, let's start this afternoon. So, really? How long will it take? So 30 minutes. Cool. When? I can start now, but I had to go to Rwanda Development Board and then came back. And then we had this session. And in the end, you had this big aha moment and shifted. And now he says, I know what to do. He says, I don't know you well enough, but can I hug you? Right? And I hugged him. But still, it was moving from that to, like, is this possible? How long does it take? Will I only see this after 12 months? But we did that in half an hour to an hour, and there was a big shift already. So that's what we take care of. So the number one piece that will stand in your way would be your internal beliefs, okay, and the false beliefs, which have been, a lot of these have been made, they've been put forward by a lot of people are just promising you quick fixes, as opposed to a framework, a blueprint that takes care of the different pieces, okay? And then the second part that would take care of that would stand in your way would be external things, okay? So external matters would be things that, like lockdown, for instance. Like, you're not thinking about lockdown, or you can't really control it, and President Cyril Ramaphosa calls a family meeting. It says, with immediate effect, right? When he starts with, my fellow South Africans, right? So with that, and the different countries have got different lockdown rules. For instance, here in Rwanda right now, lockdown is at 11 p.m. And then I was in Germany last week. There's no lockdown. Like, clubs and pubs are open till morning. And then I was in the Netherlands, again, it's like different rules, open, but now enforcing, like, you need to have this in place, or you need to show your COVID vaccine certificate, all of those type of things. But those things that can be outside our control, right? But what do we do in those cases? In those cases, we pivot very fast. And again, yesterday, the day before, I met with another lady here from Rwanda, because I've been in Rwanda now a few days, who used to run a consulting company doing events and that, and then came back like, how do I pivot? How do I give? And for her, it was more around the certainty and the vision, because things were working a certain way, then afterwards didn't work. And what she needed then was just really to get that belief again going up, and then how to tackle the external factors. So external factors, then we had the session and the coaching session, and shifted now. It says, oh, actually, I don't even, because so first was, for me to continue, I need to go for more training. Like, you don't need more training. Or maybe I need to go and buy equipment. You don't need equipment. But what do I need? They said, I run my company from my laptop. This is the MacBook and to Zoom, right? And I don't need special equipment. I use my phone, I use my laptop. And then say, okay, but maybe I need, so it was one thing after another until we found what was really the issue. And it was like, you know what do I say? What do I say now? What am I teaching? And then shifting that was a big breakthrough. So we can deal with external matters like that, and pivoting and talking to other people. So when we have the accountability piece of the blueprint, there you're always talking to mentors and talking to coaches. They help you to see things differently. Same thing for me. When things shift in my business, I'm always talking to my coach. And my coach saying, why are you doing this? Oh, by the way, you could do this. And it shifts for me. So whenever you are having issues, you're too close to the issue to see it. Okay? It's like what you experience when you're in the kitchen and you see sometimes like there's a fly that's trying to get out. Okay? It's trying to get out. There's a glass here and it keeps bumping on the glass. But the other side, the window is wide open, but it's too close and it just keeps bumping there. For you, because you got perspective, you can see that, oh, if you just move there, it could go, but you're very close, just doing that. And it's the same thing, what our coaches do, they help us to see the different pieces. So if you look at question, here's a question for all of you. What do people like Michael Jordan, people like Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Sheryl Sandberg, Steve Jobs have in common, apart from their massive success? What else do they have in common? Type in the chat box. What do they have in common? I'll give you a hint. Who's Phil Jackson? Who knows who Phil Jackson is? Yes, Tumelo says work ethic. Yes, absolutely. They did have work ethic. In addition to that, what do they have? Mentors. Yes, yes, absolutely. Coaches. Yes, absolutely. They did have coaches. Made a big difference. We think like somebody who's like Eric Schmidt running Google would have a coach. Like Google, would have a coach. And so they all had a coach. People like Jack Dorsey, Dick Costolo at Twitter, Jeff Bezos at Amazon, Steve Jobs at Apple, Sundar Pichai at Google, Sheryl Sandberg at Facebook. They all had coaches, and a lot of them actually had one coach. Who knows the coach that coached all of these guys, apart from Michael Jordan's coach, who's Phil Jackson. These guys that got coached by Bill Campbell. So there's even a book about Bill Campbell called The $1 Trillion Coach. So he's coached companies that produce trillions, valuations of trillions of dollars. But every great person, even Tiger Woods, has got a coach. That's the importance of this. That when you are stuck, your coach could say, oh, move here. There's a way, pass. like that. I've always had mentors and coaches, and that's what helped me to build this company and to be able to do this. And that's the importance of that's how we deal with the second piece of the block. Okay. Now the third piece that would actually block you would be thinking that, is the blueprint the thing that's going to work for me? Okay. And I can relate to that thinking, because I've bought a lot of programs and thinking about, is it a program that could work? Is it something that would work for me now? And some things worked, some things didn't work. But what made the difference was that the programs that worked were holistic, and it wasn't promising just one thing, like, oh, just do that. Just have vision, just vision, believe, that's it. Okay, meditate, that's it. Or somebody says, no, just work hard. Okay? Because you can work hard if you're digging, like it doesn't matter how hard you're working, you're digging for gold. If where you are, there's no gold, it doesn't matter how much you believe or how hard you work, you will not find gold. So it's the same, like putting all that together, saying, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I want to do, and then you get the place where there is where you get to your actual results. Critical, putting the things together. And so we have tested the blueprint now with companies like Brown and Ayo, and we've tested it with ourselves, as Pranary. We've tested it with a company in Zambia. It's a cake company. You know, we are testing this, and now would like to make an invitation to you guys to test it as well. Okay? So another thing that, so those are the things that block you, but they would also come into, you don't have follow-up, and then you don't have follow-up because you're feeling overwhelmed, okay? So I've shared a lot of things here, and we have shared a lot of things. We had Sarah, we had Lelemba come in, and we had then we showed you like all the different pieces of a blueprint, and it can be overwhelming. It's like trying to drink water from a fire hose. Like, this is a lot of things. How many of you are feeling like this could be like, it's a lot, right? Type 1 in the chat box if you're feeling like, okay, it's a lot, 9 things. Like, how many of you feel that like type 1, like, I don't know where to start, how to put this thing together, right? And have, great. Yeah, Chewe says, yeah, I like your point on not just saying that, have a vision, believe in yourself, work hard, because that is what most motivational speakers tell you. They don't give you the various directions to possibly take. Absolutely, absolutely. Great, that's true. You do get that. A lot of times you just get, like, believe. And believe me, if you're sitting, those of you who got gardens, you can sit in your gardens and just say, there's no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds. Oh, there are no weeds. And open your eyes, you think the weeds will go away. You're like, no, you still need to do some work. And then you need the right tools to do that. And still, if you don't have the right tools, you don't know how to do it, you still need somebody else to guide you. Okay. So, the question, is it okay that I take some time, about 10, 15 minutes, to show you the offer that we've got? Type 1 in the chat box if you'd like me to share the offer that we've got that would help you make this less overwhelming. Okay, fantastic. Great. Okay. I'll go ahead and share with you the offer that we've got. So we've got something that breaks this, makes it easy for you to implement. Okay, we know that this, if we just give you like this, it's like just again giving you a map book to say, hey, here's a map book, figure out where you are and where you're going. Like, I've got the information, but I don't know, I can't read maps. Okay, and well, I don't know, figure out where I am and where to go and to read the map and drive at the same time. Like, it can be overwhelming. So we have put together a program. This program is called Velocity. So the Velocity program is the business growth program, okay, to help you achieve your business growth goals, and specifically helping you to implement the blueprint and to be able to do it fast, but also to do it with guidance and accountability. So why a lot of people will not achieve, it's because they won't have that accountability and guidance. And why it's like diets and plans and exercise regimes, right? Those things, none of these things work, including this blueprint, unless you work. Okay? None of it works unless you work. So you need then to, I'll give you like, okay, this is how you get a six-pack, but then at least instead of like, we can't do push-ups for you, you still need to do the push-ups, but at least we give you the guidance, say, this is the number of reps you need to do, and this is the rest period, and then I'm here to make sure that you're doing it. And that's how you get your results. And that's what we're doing in the Velocity program, that we're giving you a breakdown of the blueprint, okay? And the good thing is that it now becomes less confusing because we've put all of these in one blueprint, but it contains the different pieces of one. We'll look at the vision. So we got a program where, I mean, the framework on the vision, like how exactly you do that, you're setting up your vision, then exactly how you're going to set to put together your dream list. So a dream list is a critical piece of, these are the things I'd love to achieve. And then we do that in saying, what do I want to do? Or what do I want to do? What do I want to be? What do I want to have? Okay, so in these three ways, I keep saying I want to travel the world, I want to have a good price, I want to have a full stocked bar, I want to have a fully stocked fridge, or I want to have a car that starts in the morning. I want, like, all of those things are your dreams. Then you write like what you want to, those are some of the things that you want to have. And then what do you want to be? I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to be a respected husband, wife, sister, son-in-law, daughter-in-law. I want to be an influencer. I want to be somebody that gets recognition. What are all those things? And you put them together. And then I'm thinking about what's in it for you. So we break down that process. What's in it for you? And then also what's in it for others. So the things you want to do for the world, leaving a legacy, having an impact. And then you write exactly what you want to do, the things the people you want to impact, you want to create jobs, the people you want to employ or impact in the communities. Like, you're saying, I want to uplift my community because I live in a neighborhood that's rough and I want to change that. I think there's something like, for instance, like Chanel shared, like we want to help the community as well. So all of those you put in your dream list in a format of be, do, have. We show you the framework. So it takes the work from you. You don't have to figure that out on your own. We give you that. But that also helps you to move forward. Those moments when you're feeling like you don't feel like waking up, like, should I get up again? Or things not working, that helps you. Then the other part that we have in the vision section, we show you exactly how you determine your values, so that you align what you want to achieve with your core values, like things that are important to you. A lot of times why we don't achieve our goals is because we're misaligned. So if like somebody says, I should lose weight. If even the words are saying should, it means it's not your goal. Okay, I should. The things that you love, you just say, oh, I'd love to do this. I want to do this. I like doing this. If it starts coming to be, I have to do this. I should. Oh, I have to call my mother. It means you don't want to call your mother. Okay, it's duty. The things you call, the people you love calling, you just call them. You say, oh, I'd like to call this one. Like, not I have to. So we can help you with that because that increases your chances of achieving that, achieving your goals. Then we go into certainty, like the steps to increase your certainty, looking at what you've done before, what people have said about you, and then the framework also on what you're going to what your vision is, and then putting the pieces together, like who are the people who would support you to make this happen, okay? Then when it comes to revenue, understanding your unit economics, we give you that formula, understanding whether you different types of businesses, and then also understanding your costs and seeing where you can increase efficiency, that at this price point, is it working for me or is it not? We show you exactly that. Then on the product, knowing that you got a great product, how do you also then structure that product so that you can add more value and you get more people to buy from you, and also how you stand out in a crowded market. Like, how do you differentiate that, what you're offering? Saying, I'm offering tuition, and then, but everybody else is offering tuition. How do I stand out from everybody else that's offering tuition, for instance? Then in the market, we talk about who's your market ideal customer profile, a template for doing that, and setting out your ideal customer profile, finding out where they hang out, how to reach them, and the size of that market, and the methods. And then we look at the marketing now, and in that marketing piece, we look at we look at the funnels, the channels that you should choose, and then the template of the questions to ask your digital marketing expert. And just that, it will just asking, like knowing what to ask a digital marketer will save you lots of money. A good digital marketer will cost you not less than 20,000 Rand, so not less than $1,000 per month. So a lot of times when you're struggling, it's because they're paying people who don't know what to do and expect them to know, and they don't know. But then because you don't also know what to ask them, you spend a lot of money and then it goes into Facebook and Google black hole. And then nothing happens, then we switch, you go to somebody else and you keep switching. And in the end, it feels like digital marketing doesn't work when it actually does. But when you know what to ask, then you can ask the right questions to hire the right people, but also understanding how you create the strategy so you can tell them what your strategy is, to say, I want to make sure I get this type of people coming through and they do this, then we remarket to these people so they can do this, and then we run this to get this to do this. And understanding that, and also knowing that the key things, like if people are saying, oh, I'll charge you for optimizing the ads, like for instance, like that was a fee, when now you don't really need to do any changing for that because the algorithm does it for you. But if you don't understand how to ask that and to fix that, you will spend more than 10,000 every month paying for to people who don't understand fully what they're doing, or they just give you what they know because that's their strategy, but they don't own your business. Okay. And then we look at the funnels, we teach you the different types of funnels you can have. We'll also look at marketing and marketing funnels, marketing activities, the cadence for marketing, and how you also interview for marketing people. If you're setting up marketing jobs, we'll teach you there's this one question which is critical when you're hiring marketing people, to see if somebody really has got resilience or not. Okay. I use that when hiring marketing people, and you can see somebody says, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and then you give them this one thing, and then you see if they're real or not. And it works like magic. So the one thing that you ask a salesperson, to help you gauge if that's the right salesperson for you. Okay. Then on the team, getting to clarify roles for the team, and also how you have the responsibilities and communicating with your team. How do you do that? How do you communicate to make sure that the team understands what they're doing, and at what point do you talk to them, and when do you touch base? Then execution, looking exactly at How do you execute? What's the cadence? We have the framework, we give you the execution framework, and how to create a dashboard that will help you with accountability. So we need visibility and then knowing like what should be there, what are the possible ways of creating the dashboards that will give you. So you don't have to figure all of these out, give you that, and then teach you exactly how you will implement that. And then, very, very important, you also get accountability. So you set your goals, and then we'll hold you accountable. And the wonderful thing with all of this is that you don't get that just from me, you get that from Sarah Dusek, who you had 2 days ago, then Leland Phiri, you had 2 days ago as well. And then you get that from Simon Stokely, who's the founder, and I mean, the former founder and CEO of SA Home Loans. And you have people like Ariel Sumeruk, who runs a digital marketing company, give you guidance. And somebody like the founder of Tax Team, somebody who built a company and exited, giving you guidance. So here, it's not even just me, it's a lot of amazing experts guiding you and holding you accountable. If you got just that value, how much value would that be? Okay. How much value would that be if you had to put a number to that? Okay. Is anybody else having issues with sound or connectivity? Okay, cool. So type a number that you think that value would be, and then see what this is, right? Okay. So what you will get in this one, the blueprint, the blueprint itself, just if you just to get the blueprint and with all of these is worth $10,000 according to the time it has taken us, the trial and error, the people we had to pay, the amount of money that went in, and the amount of consultants and experts and all the different founders that we had to interview and learn from, and the coaches. So some of the things, for instance, with somebody that we are hosting after next week, that's the coach that coached Sarah Dusek. Like Sarah Dusek built a company that exited at over $100 million, right? So getting input from somebody like that, and then getting input from Sarah herself, okay, and input from Lelemba, input from Simon, all of that. So that, getting that into what's the framework that works? That's the value of that alone is 10,000. Okay, $10,000, which is like 120,000 Rand or 140,000 Rand. And then coaching from great mentors, this alone for a year is over $10,000, because you get good coaches who cost you about $1,000 monthly. And still these would be the cheap coaching programs. I was in a coaching program with my mentor in Bali that cost $12,000, and then another coaching program that costs $15,000. But you see the value that you get and all of that. And so this $10,000 for coaching from these great people is really, really low. Like it's on the lower end. And then creating great offers framework. Just our framework is worth of $500. And then monthly coaching, our CEO coaching program, it costs $440 a month by 12, right? And with that, what's the total value that you get with all of this? I'll do the mathematics now, okay? That's 440 by 12. That's 5,280 plus 5,000 plus 20,000. That's 30,000 worth. 30,000 worth of value. So that's what we're giving you in this program. And the wonderful thing with this is that you don't have to pay this amount, but still, even if you pay this amount and you just manage to double your revenue, triple your revenue, or 10x your revenue, what would it be worth to you? If you just eliminated that need to just feel like, if this program just helped you now to feel that worth, to feel like, wow, finally my business works. And now I understand how people have got this, they're talking about millions of dollars. Like, how do they do that, right? Would it be worth something? And if you just took out the uncertainty of, I don't know what I should work on, would it be worth something? Okay. And if also it just took out the need to just figure out what to do with the different, the different digital marketing companies and the people that you ask. Okay. So now the good news is that this offer is actually not going for $30,000. Okay. And it's also not going for $20,000 or $10,000. No, not even that. Okay, we're giving you this program. I've got the price in Rand now, but just put the values that you're thinking about now. Like, what do you think this would be worth? What price are we gonna give it to you for with all this value? Okay. With all this value, what would it be for you? Question one, if it just helped you to figure out, like, to double your, just double. If you doubled your revenue, would it be worth it? Okay. And then today we're giving this to you for a price of about, I've got it, I need to get it in dollars. In Rand, it's about 16,000 Rand. So that's a little over $1,000. How cool is that? Okay. And then, but why we're doing this for today, we're doing this for you now, it's because you are going to just be the part of the program that we're launching with. And those of you who are joining this year, this program starts next year in January. Okay. It starts mid-January. And then you join this year, you get this for just about $1,000 and getting value of over $30,000. Then when we launch in Jan, the price is going to double. It's going to be $2,000. Okay. And if you paid 16,000 Rand, okay, that's not even the price for getting coaching from Sarah for 1 month, right? To think about 16,000 Rand. And also 16,000 Rand is not even the price that you would pay for digital marketing. It's the price you would pay for digital marketing for 1 month. But now we're saying this whole program that will run for 9 weeks, and then you still be part of the program, you get coaching for 12 months. Okay, for just 16,000 Rand. Okay, that's what we're doing for you. And so how it would work is that you go to this, you get to I'll send you the link now. You go to pranary.com/velocity. And from there, you're going to claim your bonus. Okay. Sharing this in the link now. Okay, thanks. So you go to share the screen. So how it works is that you go to pranary.com/velocity and you join this Velocity, the Ultimate Growth Program. Okay. And what you do is that you get to this page and we're detailing what the type of things that you're going to get. And all of the things that I talked about, we'll add all of those, you log in. When you get to this page, you go to the bottom. At the bottom of this page, you will get to sign up at this amount. And then, yeah, it's $1,600. You instead of the 2,000, and then you sign up here. And once you do that, you get into Pranary. You log into Pranary, and there you just get your first breakdown, the blueprint, like what you need to do for setting your goals for the next 12 months. Then you can also have an option to pay this full amount right now, or you can pay in 3 installments. Okay, and then we get ready to start this program in January. And when we hit January, the price is going to double. And that's what we do. So some questions then people ask around this is, say, hey, but if I get into, let's say that if I get into this program, how is it going, like, will it work? What if it doesn't work, okay? If it doesn't, if for whatever reason you join this program now and you believe that it's not the right program for you, we'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. So there is no risk. There's zero risk. And then also some people say, look, I can't afford now. I'm not making this kind of money. Like I'm not making 17,000 rand a month. Okay, I mean, or 17,000 rand a year. So if you're not making 17,000 rand per year, definitely, yes, this might not be the right program for you right now, because we wouldn't want you to go into debt to start paying for another program, then you starting off from the back foot. But if already your business is making just over 20,000 rand, right, over 50,000 rand, then this is worth investing in, because if you just do what you're doing and you double it, you'll be able to, the program will pay for itself. So all our programs are structured in such a way that if you follow the blueprint and guidance, and then you are there with us, we actually take you through this, and you will see that this is where I am not, this is where I'm struggling, this is where I'm doing well. And then again, this program is not for everybody, but it's for the few people say, you know what, I'm tired of doing the same thing and getting the same results, and this is not working for me. And I want finally like to get some real guidance from people who have done it before. And I've been trying to figure this out on my own. But now I want to really make sure that I do something different. And you got 2 options. One would be you do nothing, right? And continue with the same frustration, same things that you're not sure about, trying to figure things out and piece things together. You still continue to just feel that frustration and wasting a lot of time and a lot of money paying people and still can't guide them, right? And that leads to worse issues where you're struggling with, they even like your spouse or your partner or your siblings always asking like, why isn't your business working up to now? Why don't you just get a job? And your frustration of you're getting busier and busier without getting any time that's working for you. So that's one option. You do nothing and continue experiencing this pain, frustration of just trying to figure things out. Or you can take a shot and join the program and get guidance. And the program really, where we're not even saying, hey, just here's the book, read it. We're saying, we will guide you. We will guide you. We will be there. And some of the templates are done for you. Okay. And the only risk is that you don't sign up and things continue the same way that they have been. But if you sign up, there isn't any risk really on your side, because if you're feeling like, you know what, this is not working, I want a refund, we'll give you a refund. Okay. And so we are taking a very small cohort, and we are closing out all of these. We are closing out all of this year, meaning we'll take a cohort of not more than 10 people. So just 10 people. We could have made this cheaper and trying to take a lot of people in, but we wouldn't be able to give the people that will give you the value that we're promising right now, because we will individually like working with all of you to give you that guidance. Okay. So there were options here. We had two options. Like, can we just make it as cheap as possible and just get in like lots of people? Or should we give lots of value, like give a lot of value so that people actually get what we're promising that we'll give you here? So our option then is we will give you a lot of value. And so if you're believing that maybe this is the chance to make 2022 a different year, then go to the page that's been posted in the chat box, pranary.com/velocity, and sign up for this program. And it will make a big difference for your life. So I'd like to take any questions. If you've got any questions regarding this, type in the chat box. Happy to take questions. Oh, there's a question about what's the amount of time that's required to do this. So the amount of time we'll be having, we have a one weekly session, okay? One session where we teach these blueprints, I mean the pieces of the blueprint, and then you will be able to, that session is 1.5 hours, because we teach you some of those principles and then answer questions and guide you. And then you work on that, but the work that you have is work on your business. So we're not giving you assignments to go and say, hey, go and do this and just do a case study. We give you something that's random. What you're giving you is working on your business, okay? Let's hear from, yeah, type some questions in the chat. Okay, so another question is, when are we closing the applications? Oh, cool. We'll close the applications when we just get the 10 people in, and it's closing. So we see that it will happen just, I think, within the next few days. And then those of you who sign up right away, then you get that bonus where you get this month we'll do the we'll do a live session on breaking down your goals and setting that up for success for 2022, so that now you can go on holiday knowing exactly that you're gonna hit the ground running, and without wondering, like, you don't have to set your goals on New Year's Eve. Say, oh, these are my goals for the year, and then the following week, like, they are all forgotten. Okay. Let's hear from Sasha. Sasha is from Job Crystal, and she'll tell you what she thinks about Pranary.
Hi, I'm Sasha from Job Crystal, and I'm here to tell you why Pranary is great just for you. They build the best leaders into even better leaders for Africa. So join and enjoy.
Cool. So that's Sasha. Sasha is received investment now from Enigma Ventures, and we hosted her in Cape Town. And she's really amazing, building a recruitment company that helps startups and medium-sized organizations to hire the best talent. So these are some of the people also that you link in, and they give you guidance on, like, what should I do when I'm struggling with team members? What are the processes and all of that? And then we got Evelyn Kaingo from Zambia. So Evelyn raised $1 million from us, from Enigma Ventures. And let's hear what she says about Pranary as well.
My name is Evelyn Kaingo, and I'm the CEO at Lupia. And Lupia is a digital bank that's providing financial solutions for emerging markets. And so we are focused on providing lending solutions for individuals and small businesses So what I would say about Pranary is I'd call it a business toolkit. That's a necessity for a growing or a growth stage business. Just because as a founder, you carry the vision, and once your idea has been enacted, what happens next is making sure that your growth strategy is implemented in a way that you want to impact people or actually reach the people that you intended the product to be for. And so I would say it's a guide, a toolkit that an entrepreneur needs to make sure that they can enact on their growth strategy and really ensure a real impact.
Great. Fantastic. There's a question from Barney. Barney saying, I applied for funding with one US-based organization. Once they turned me down, they did recommend that working with Pranary might help me in the future. Does Pranary assist in our endeavor to raise funding after participating in the program? We do have a program specifically for investor readiness that helps you to raise funding. That program is called Ignition. So if you're not generating revenue yet, then the business growth program, Velocity, might not be the right program for you. But the program might not be for you, but you can get into Ignition, which now specifically helping you to get investor ready and know exactly what investors are looking for and what they want what they look for in the startup before they invest. And so the key thing is like you need to launch and generate revenue. So if you're generating revenue, if they want to see growth, then Velocity is the right program for you. Cool. All right. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. And then in closing, we got Mark Chiveres. This is my friend from the Netherlands. I was at his house last week in Maastricht. A beautiful, beautiful house. He runs a training company. He also does sales and teaches you. We use one of the frameworks that helps you when you're hiring people, which is it shows you what the drivers are, especially for salespeople. So let's hear from Mark. Hold on one sec. One second.
Hi, my name is Mark Chigere, CEO and founder at Pranary Consulting. One of our highlights this year is really the partnership and the opportunity to work together with Pranary. And we are really, really excited. They've got an amazing team, amazing leadership, doing amazing work and really making a difference, in the areas around business, entrepreneurship, the same areas that we are absolutely passionate about. And I can't wait, to see the kind of work that we'll be able to do. And, if you are interested in these subjects, come and join us. We'll be able to really move the needle and make a difference.
Fantastic. Great. So those of you who got existing businesses generating revenue and you want to double your revenue, want to scale your business within 12 days without getting busier and busier and losing sleep and trying to figure out and getting confused, then Velocity is for you. So looking forward to having you on the program. And then those of you who are in the different stages and looking for different things, then join us on the open day where we share with you all the other programs that we've got from Pranary. So thank you very much, everybody. Looking forward to having you on the program. And thanks for all of you that joined the masterclass for the 5 days. Hopefully you got things that you can implement immediately, and then looking forward for the ones that say, look, I need special guidance from you and to make this happen. And then if you got any questions, just email us, start@pranary.com. And if you want to make a plan, like, look, I really believe this would work for me. What do I do? We will make a plan for you. So entrepreneurship is about making plans. Okay, so reach out and we are happy to help you win. Thank you very much, Akabana. Thank you, Barney. Thank you, Chewe. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Ronwin. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, Tiuda. Thank you to Melo. Thank you very much, everybody. And thanks to Christy and Alumbu, who worked so hard, tirelessly putting everything together in the background, putting all the content together and putting them in a format that's usable and the replays and everything that we got. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Great. Great, Michael. Awesome. Good to see. Good to hear. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Great. My name is Sandras, and I'll see you again. Cheers. Bye-bye.